Instagram has been testing a new feature and everyone is in a frenzy, but I need you to know two things. One, just because they're testing something does not necessarily mean they're going to roll it out. And every time they are testing something, there's a reason behind it, and it could be a big clue into something that we should be incorporating into our strategy. So what is the test exactly? Someone recently leaked on Twitter that Instagram is currently testing a new feature in stories where, as a user, when you're watching stories, you'll only see the first 3 slides and you'll have to tap show all to see the rest. But first, who am I? My name is Shannon McKinstry. I am co-founder of the Social Squad Society, and I believe Instagram should be the fun part of business and not stress you out. And this is just another one of those things where you should not stress and just embrace this possible change. What does Instagram want us to do? Keep people on the app. The longer we stay on the app, the more money they make. So when we have an excessive amount of stories, people are going to fall off. They're going to leave the app, and Instagram doesn't like that. So to combat this, Instagram is testing collapsing stories to see if this helps users get to content they want to see faster. Will this roll out to everyone? We don't know, and Instagram is not saying whether it's for sure or not. And let's be real, when it comes to Instagram, nothing is absolute. But here's what I want you to know about this, and this is where I'm going with this, because whether this happens or not, the first 3 stories you share are the most important. Here's why. We're consuming so much these days, and I've been doing some market research myself, and I find that most people tend to drop off after 3 to 4 stories. And this is what I mean by when Instagram is testing something, there's a reason behind it. So this is a big clue for us to know that people tend to fall off after 3 to 4 stories. So what does that mean? That means we need to be much more intentional about our stories than we have ever been before. With more features on the app, more people on the app, everyone following more people, shops, reels, etc., we are really distracted on the app. So anything Instagram can do to get us to stay on longer, they're gonna do it. So I wanna say this isn't actually a bad thing, because it's helped me big time really think about what I share first thing every day. So the first 3 stories I would suggest that you share every day are the following. One would be just sharing what you're up to that day. This can be in the form of a to-do list. This could be you talking to camera, which I highly suggest, with a poll to get your audience engaged off the jump. I usually like to say what I'm doing that day, what I'm doing that morning. I share a little bit of my morning routine. I keep my audience with me by moving with the camera and taking them maybe with my coffee and just saying, hey, here's what I'm up to today. This reminds them what I do, what I offer, and who I am as a person. I'm more than a business owner, right? I'm a mom, so I talk about how I'm taking care of my girls, getting them off to school, what I'm up to that day. Now you could keep your first 3 stories just doing that, talking to the camera, and that's typically what I do. I make sure to get everything out I can in that first story as fast as I can talk without confusing people. So to reiterate, first story should absolutely be what you're doing so that they're reminded of what you do, what you sell, who you are, and what's in it for them. We've got to remember, it's not about us, it's about our audience. Now I tend to do my first 3 stories just like that, kind of talking about what I'm up to that day. And then by the third, if I'm using that day to build my email list or sell a product or a course or the membership, right, the Social Squad Society, I will mention it within those first 3 stories. I don't do this every day because I don't like to sell on stories every day. That's me. But if you want to sell every day, go for it. To each their own. There is no wrong way or right way to do it. Everyone's account's different. Everyone is different. Every audience is different. So think about what your people like to engage with the most. And what my people like to see and what most people like to see is just behind the scenes of your life and your day-to-day. When I look at my stories and sites, the most replies are always the personal stuff. It's maybe the TV show I'm watching, the coffee order I had at Starbucks, things like that. So again, for that first story, you can make this a whole set of stories where you're talking about your day, what you're up to, and then segue into what you're selling based on something you're sharing. So something like this, right? I'm so excited. Today I'm meeting with so-and-so to talk so-and-so. This is why they booked it. This is why I'm excited to share it with them. What your goals are for them, right? Paint the picture, paint the transformation if you're looking to sell that day and bond with your audience in that manner. And then hit them with, here's where to book yours, right? That's a great way to sell on stories and connect with your audience. So that's one option. 1, 2, 3, just talk about your day, talk about what you're up to, why you love what you sell, and sell it. The other option, number 2, is just to share personal stuff, right? What you're watching, what you're eating, what you're drinking. People love that stuff. Instagram is still a storytelling app, always has been, always will be. And third, social proof. Oh my gosh, can I talk about what social proof has done for my business? That's a whole nother YouTube video, okay? Whether it's a DM, a screenshot of a testimonial, share that bad boy. And again, that's another great way to sell and bond and help sell that transformation. for your audience. So again, they're reminded what you do. So let's go back to the beginning. Number one, talk about what you're up to and what you're doing that day and what you're most excited about. Number two, something personal. This could be, again, something as mundane. It's not mundane, by the way. We really do want to know your coffee order. So again, this could be anything. It's basically what you would share if you weren't trying to sell something. Does that make sense? We have to remember Instagram wasn't made to sell. So just think of something that you would be sharing on stories with your friends if you weren't trying to sell something. That's kind of a good way to think about it. And lastly, social proof, right? That is where you tie the knot in a big, pretty bow. If I was going to only share 3 stories a day, those would be it. Now, a bonus one, I love sharing funny memes from other creators and sharing inspirational quotes from other creators because my audience loves them as much as I do. So that's another fun bonus one that I do. And I usually add a slider or something to increase that engagement and participation. With all that said, I want to encourage you to do more than 3 stories a day. I typically aim for about 10. I usually do more. But again, I see my audience. I get about half of my audience sticking with me after about 5 to 6. So for me, it makes complete sense why Instagram is doing this. For years, I've made sure that the first things I want my audience to see are in the beginning, and that is because I've been watching those numbers. So now it just makes me think about it even more. So I'm not really mad at it. While I kind of hope it doesn't roll out because it just frustrates people, I totally get it. So if you want to share 10 in a row, just you talking to the camera, you absolutely can. You just want to make sure that you are engaging your audience so they stick with you. Make sure your personality is shining. Add some personal elements to it. Again, your coffee, your kids, your pet, whatever it is. Talk about your day. Take people behind the scenes. Nothing sells faster than stories, period. Let me know what your favorite stories are to share in the comments. And if you want to learn how to master stories once and for all, hop into the Social Squad Society. We have an epic masterclass inside with a challenge that you can start today and start seeing instant results. Link to join is below, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video from us. We're always here to keep you updated on all things social media and take the stress out of it and put the fun back in. Can I get an amen? So keep showing up on stories, do what feels right to you. But if you are looking to sell and grow your brand, those are the 3 that really pack a punch. That's it for now. I will see you next time, friend.